October 20th is World Evidence-Based Healthcare Day, and I wanted to do a little video about searching for literature if you're in a low-resource country or at a low-resource institution. So clinicians and public health workers need evidence for clinical practice, policy, and decision-making, but not everyone has access to expensive subscription bibliographic literature databases. Finding the right research evidence can feel overwhelming, especially if your organization or institution isn't able to subscribe to some of these really expensive bibliographic databases. Or maybe you're in between jobs and you're still researching, but you aren't currently affiliated with an organization or institution. So there are a lot of free resources out there if you only know where to look. Here are a few that can help you find the evidence that you need. And we'll start with Dimensions. Dimensions is a powerful search engine with limits for open access, source titles, categories, and more. It's unique because it also provides analytical views of a field with citation maps, researcher networks, research categories, and publication overviews. So I really like Dimensions. Then we'll move to TRIP database. TRIP is a search engine that points you to evidence, clinical trials, clinical practice guidelines, systematic reviews, and more. You can use the Pico search or just regular search. And when you run a search, it points you to guidelines, regulatory guidance, controlled trials, primary research, and more. And it even provides filters for low and middle income country content, so that might be very useful. The next one we'll look at is called the Lens. I've talked about it before. It's a great, robust search engine for research evidence and patents and researcher profiles. You can run your keyword search here under scholarly works. Be careful about that. And then you can limit on the left by country, open access, and more. Analyze your search results with the analysis option and use the links in the article record to find PDFs. You can also create a free account to export your results. The next resource is called Silo. Silo, the Scientific Electronic Library Online, is a repository for open access research articles. You can run your search with keywords in English, Spanish, or Portuguese. And you can use the filters on the left to limit by country and publication type. You'll see that these are open access articles. Next is the Global Index Medicus. The WHO Global Index Medicus is a database of biomedical and public health literature with content from several WHO regional databases. The literature is produced by and for low and middle income countries. You can conduct your search with keywords. So under information sources, you'll see the different regional indexes. And if you keep it selected to all, then you can run your search and use your filters to limit by region, by subject, by types of study, language, and more. Two more resources I'd like to talk about, probably a little bit more well-known. One is the Cochran Library. Cochran Library is accessible from cochranlibrary.com. If you go into advanced search, you'll have a better experience. You're searching the central register, which is trials, and you're searching CDSR, which is systematic reviews. It uses MESH, medical subject headings, and provides free online access to regions with funded provisions, as well as low and middle income country researchers. You can go to help and support to contact someone at Cochran to ask about access for your country or if your country has provision. Then finally, there's PubMed from the U.S. National Library of Medicine. It's freely available to search. You can conduct your search with keywords or mesh terms, and then you can use the filters to limit to clinical trials, systematic reviews, clinical practice guidelines, and more. PubMed contains Medline, as well as PMC, which is the open access archive of the National Library of Medicine. So I hope this was helpful to you on World Evidence-Based Healthcare Day. We looked at TRIP database, tripdatabase.com. We looked at the Dimensions free web app.dimensions.ai, the Lens, which is lens.org, Silo, search.silo.org, the WHO's Global Index Medicus. I will put a link in the video description below. The Cochran Library, cochranlibrary.com. Finally, PubMed. I'll put a link in the video description below. Happy researching, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.